Davion, silently.
I gotta tell you something.
Thank you, David. No way, silently sitting there, completing their due now. Lena is silently sitting there, completing her due now.
So all the students have.
Sean. Because when you enter my room.
We can take away the students.
I see Deshaun is completing his due now. Great job.
Thanks.
Brianna and Deshaun in the back are completing their due now. Everyone should be doing their due now. I see a few people who've got boxes empty.
Right? So you see how I made a list for 16? Doesn't look very nice. See what I'm saying? For 16, I made a list. Using multiply from the 16. Do you think that's the most related? All these numbers together. Cool. Yeah, that's one reason. Where's some of the back? We'll multiply this together to get 30. All right, what was that? 1 and 1 and 5.
2 is 5, subtract 5. So you're going to take 1 here.
So, since there's no.
Right?
Can't break that down. It's already in the factors.
And it's 4 minus 7 minus 4. So how many students are
Good
have
job
to
on
pass?
1, 2, 3,
37 have to pass.
2,
Good job.
is 5, also 1. No, I shouldn't. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think this is though. Alright, kind of all eyes up in me in 3. Pencils down in 2 and 1. Thank you. So, we're going to go over the do now, okay? Everyone, can you guys keep tracking me on the screen? I'm going to put up some great student work. I want you guys to see. So, the first student is no way. It says, number 1, list all the factors. He didn't do it directly in order, but he still listed every single factor of 30. Do you guys see that? Some of you guys did a factor tree. If I just say list the factors, if it says list, they should be in a list form. Does that make sense? Okay. So, when you have factors, what's the first number you should think of? Great. What's the last number? The number itself. I need you to remember that because people are still mixing up factors and multiples, okay? Great job. Good job, Noe. Alright, the second question that I saw. Kiori. Number 2, what is the least common multiple of 2, 3, and 4? Kiori, can you explain how you got this answer?
I just put all the multiples.
Yeah, and what, for multiples, what number do you always start with? The number itself. Do you guys get that? Alright, perfect. I'm gonna take this. Great job, Kiori. And I need someone who thinks they know how to do prime factorization. I believe. Oh. Alright, that's close, but then if you put the 2, you don't put this one. Does that make sense? Alright, so right now, we have Malik's workup. Do you guys see number 3?
Yes.
So, prime factorization, what's the first thing you should think of? Factor tree, good job. Factor tree. And the one thing I want you guys to see, he ended his answer the way I wanted to. Do you guys see how there's 2 times 2 times 2 times 5? This should, though, be 2 to the 3rd, right? Because there are 3 2s, so this should be 2 to the 3rd. It's close. Good job. But do you see how he ended his answer like this, and then box your answer when you're done? So how do I want you guys to answer prime factorization? I want it to finish in the form of one number times another number. What? Okay. Awesome. So I'll put up for mine. Yeah. Want me to put it back up? Which one? His? He chose to do 5 and 8. Then he split up the 8 into 2 and 4, and then split up the 4 into 2 and 2. Oh, no, it's 2 to the 3rd. Alright, simplifying. I found that the least common multiple was 4. How do you think was one way I could have done that? So I just kind of knew that 16 and 20, they both go into 4. You also could do a factor tree, right? So if I wanted to, I could have taken 16 and 20 and done my factor trees, right? So what goes into 16?
4, 8,
And 4. Alright, someone raise their hand and tell me what goes into the 2s. Yes, Mikhail. 2 and 2, both of them. Good job. Alright, someone different. Tell me what goes into 20. Yuri. Alright, Yuri's answering. 5 and 4. And like Mikkel already said, 2 and 2 go into 4. So, if we were to circle what's in common between the two trees, what would we circle? Can I? Ashton.
2.
And?
2.
Great. We have the 2 2's. So, we have 2 times 2 equals 4. So, we know that we should be dividing the top and bottom by
4.
Good job.
Yay.
Alright. Number 5. Did anyone have trouble with number 5?
No.
Do you guys remember that? The 2 decimals have to line up on the left side. Alright? So the 3.7 lines up with the 4.5. Yep, 8.282. And last one. I added all of my students who had A's, B's, and C's. And I got the answer is 48, so I had to take the difference between all of my students and the students with A, B's, and C's to get the students with D's and F's. Were there any questions with that one? Alright, great. So now can we all flip the page?
What about Explorer?
Oh, the Explorer? Oh, yeah. The Explorer. So the Explorer, we're going to go over, we're going to talk about what's happened today, and it'll kind of explain the Explorer, okay? Just for time, we're going to flip. So can everyone follow me to the second page? Right. Ready?
Okay everyone, so we're going to go ahead and start working on the top left side under essential points. So the first one is negatives are this. The more blank something is, the further it is from 0. The more blank something is, the farther it is from 0.
Nope, what does it say
The
there?
more negative it is. The more negative it is, the farther it is from 0. Negative 100 is pretty far from 0. Negative 5, not as far. Look at me when you have finished writing them negative. Okay, I have about half the class. Okay, so for the next one, and the less negative, the closer it is to 0. The less negative it is, the closer it is to 0. Just like the last example, right? Negative 1's pretty close to 0, negative 100 is pretty far. This is kind of similar if you remember absolute values. It's kind of similar to that. Now, what we want to do, and can I have you writing this down on the space underneath? It says, how can I order a number, or it says, sorry, the less negative, the closer to 0. Under that, can you write down the first step? One thing you want to do, identify a scale. You want to identify the scale. So we're going to be working on putting numbers, or putting decimals on a number line. The first thing you need to do is identify the scale. Now, the second step, the second thing you want to do,
Can I jump in for a second? So, what do you guys think identifying the scale means? Right? If you look all the way on your left side, there's a number line. It starts with 0, it's got negative 1 and negative 2, and then it's got these 2 lines here. Right? You're a little ahead of the game. So, when they're saying identify the scale, that means how many spaces between each little tick mark is there, right? When we're saying identify the scale, we want you to figure out how much space is in between each line. So if you look, we've got 0, we've got negative 1, and negative 2. Between this 0 and 1, that's one space, right? So, how much, there's 2 tick marks in between this space. How much do you think is right here? 0.5. It goes from here to here, it's 0.5, 0.5, and from here to here,